side, yeah. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show tonight. Welcome to Pick a Side Stupid. This is our first bracket round show of our September tournament. So this is a very exciting tournament we have going all September, where we're going to narrow down from over 40 comedians down to one who is going to win a $1,000 grand prize from the show. So tonight we have 16 of our favorites here in this group chat. And they'll be facing off against each other. And whoever wins in their first round will be heading on to next week's bracket. And the people that don't win their first round will go face off against somebody else that didn't win their first round and have another chance to get through to next week as well. So the audience, is going to vote. I can't decide who's going to move on each time, so I need you to help me out. If you look at the description on YouTube, right below the video, you'll see a link. That link will bring you to a poll. At that poll, you can vote for who you thought won each debate as it happens. And whoever you vote for will move through to the next round. So the topic of the night is U.S. history, and the categories are presidents, events, her story. This is U.S. history that has to do with the ladies, war, and wild card. So the comics will get to choose from those 5 categories. We have to go through all of the categories before we return to the same one again. And they'll debate, and they'll each have 1 minute to make their case, followed by a 30-second rebuttal. And then you, the audience, gets to choose the winner. So we will get started tonight with 2 fantastic debaters, 2 people that I'm very excited to have on the show tonight. It will be Tyler Derniak and Pete Moe. So, hey, Tyler, how's it going?
Hey, it's going all right. How are you?
Good. Pete, I hope you're doing well as well.
I am. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, I can hear you. Great.
Sweet.
So, Tyler, it'll be up to you to choose whether you want to go first or second here.
I'm going to go second.
Bold.
Okay. So, Pete, you can decide which category you're going to get a question from. So it's presidents, events, her story, war, or wild card.
I'm going to go with events.
Events, okay. So your question, the first question of the night here, is would you rather ride your horse through town warning of an impending attack, or throw a bunch of tea into the harbor?
I think that one's simple. I would love to ride my horse through town, alerting my fellow friends, just like I do on Twitter, with all of the great insights that I have to share with this world. I might get lazy and just tweet it from home, but still, I'm going to be riding that horse because it's one of those penny horses that you get, at Target, and that puppy can giddy up. All right, that thing can move. And here's the other thing with the tea, that's just downright wasteful. And as someone who believes in, the tenets of sustainability, it does suck that tea was likely probably forced to be picked by slaves. And for that purpose, it should not be profited upon. But come on, let's put that to good use, repurpose it, and give it to some people in need who are tealess. And I care about the tealess, and I hope everyone here watching and at home cares about the tealess just as much.
You see, you don't get what we're trying to do by dumping all this tea into the ocean. We're trying to give all that tea to people who have always been tealess, the mermaids of Boston Harbor. There's so many of them. They're always hanging out. You can go down by the aquarium. You always see them. They're always heckling you when you walk into illegal seafood, but they're only angry because they haven't had tea in over 200 years. That's why we got to dump all the tea back into the Boston Harbor. We got to make sure all of these mermaids have a proper amount of tea. Maybe it'd be a little nice to chuck a little cream in there. I forget if you're supposed to put the cream in before the tea. I guess either way, you're supposed to put the tea into the water before you put the cream in anyway. We gotta make sure these mermaids are full of tea.
Well, of course, I'm a huge fan of Boston cream. I wouldn't rather have anything in my mouth. But here's the thing. You're advocating for some uber caffeinated mutant mermaids that, have this insatiable tea appetite after 200 years. They've been rotting in Boston Harbor with all of the pollutants from other stuff people have dropped in there. Those mermaids, they're going to come out of the water and absolutely destroy the town.
Look, right now, I would prefer the mermaids to be mutated by tea than what they're currently mutated by, which is just Dunkin' Donuts runoff. All of these mermaids are mostly iced coffees. And the best part about the tea, there's no straws. These mermaids are just filled with straws. But with the tea, it's just straight up leaves. The whole water gets it. They get to be nice and satiated. And, it's just, I just don't want to be heckled when I take the blue line.
A lot of good points in this first debate here. And, it's up to you, the audience, to decide who won this debate. So head into the poll. The description has a link for the poll. So you can go in there and vote for either Pete Moe or Tyler Derniak. And you'll have about 20 seconds to get your vote in right now. In the meantime, let me ask a trivia question to our good friend Zach Jones, who minored in U.S. history.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, great. Well, that's enough to get the trivia question here. So your question is, this is about presidents. All our questions that are trivia questions will be about the presidents tonight. So among his 29 plus pets, Theodore Roosevelt is said to have had a pet bear. What was the name of that bear? And you have options here. Was it A, Liberty, B, Billy Possum, C, Leprechaun, or D, Jonathan Edwards?
Okay. I'm going to say it's not Liberty. That's a little obvious, and that wasn't really, I don't think that was his thing because he invaded a lot of countries. And I'm going to go with Billy Possum.
No, that is incorrect, although it would be an amazing misdirection. The name was actually Jonathan Edwards. He named the bear Jonathan Edwards. Liberty was a golden retriever that Gerald Ford had. Billy Possum was an opossum that Herbert Hoover had. And Leprechaun was a pony owned by JFK. So
I would also name a bear after, because Jonathan Edwards was like a famous Puritan reverend. So I think reverends are good people to name your bears after.
Oh, I thought he named it after the 2008 Democratic primary contender.
Yeah.
All right, our votes
His
are
daughter
in.
had a snake named Emily Spinach.
So the votes are in for our first round here, and the winner of our first debate of the night is Tyler Derniak. So he will be moving on here. And Pete will have another chance to debate to move on later. So our next debate of round one will be between Mike Giordano and Katie Dunbar. So, hey, Katie. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Thanks for doing the show. So, Mike, you will get to choose whether you go first or second here.
I will go second, please.
Okay, great. And Katie, what category would you like?
Let's go with events.
Okay. Was that what we just did? We started with events, so we can do either
Wait,
presidents.
I thought oh, never mind. War.
War. Okay, that's an event also.
You know what?
All right. So your question is, what is the better way to send a message that the colonies will no longer be ruled by Britain? Is it signing the Declaration of Independence or melting down a statue of King George to make 42,000 musket balls?
So, King George was kind of a crazy man. And I'm pretty sure that even a sternly worded letter like the Declaration of Independence wouldn't get through to him. But even if you're an insane man who likes to sing in 60s style British pop, being melted down so they can make bullets out of you is pretty clear. I don't think there's a lot of room for subtext. I don't know. Maybe he thought that no, I'm gonna leave it at that. There is no subtext there. You get melted. We're gonna take these bullets and we're gonna fire them into your homies. Deal with it, King. We good?
Yeah. Mike, you are up.
So, I mean, sure, it might send a message if you melt down a statue and make it into musket balls, but the thing is, the British already knew they were, kind of funding the Americans. The whole reason they have bullets is because of the British, right? So all we're doing is reinforcing that idea that we need to rely on British, uh, you know, resources in order to gain independence. Independence from what? Exactly. That's why writing a strongly worded letter such as the Declaration of Independence is the most effective way, because uh, the greatest changes in the world have come from letter writing campaigns. You know, we wouldn't have had that awful sixth season of Community on Hulu without a
God.
letter writing.
I think somebody just tried to smear Community, and I am not standing for that, nor am I sitting for it. So if it wouldn't fuck with my webcam angle, I would get up right now and shout this into the webcam. But nobody needs to see my gut right now. So instead, I will repeat. 42,000 musket balls can do a lot of damage to one king, or, 20,000 of it.
I'm going to flex right now and activate my standing desk to argue. Hold on. And we are at the right angle now. All right.
Wow.
A strongly worded letter is going to hurt someone's feelings, There's no better way to take down a tyrannical leader than to call him mean things, tell him what you think about him, shooting him to death. Second.
All right. Well, some solid points there. And, I can't wait to see who the audience votes for. Again,
Was the flex worth it?
I mean, the blood is circulating in my legs now, so that's That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 15-second flex. That's what it took off of the time. But anyways, the link for voting is in the description on YouTube, right below the video. So click on that, vote for your favorite here, whether it's Mike Giordano or Katie Dunbar, and you'll be sending one of them through to the next round. And in the meantime, I'll ask some trivia of another one of our good friends here. I think that it's time to check in with Angela Sawyer and see how she's doing. Hey, Angela.
Hi.
So I got a question for you about a president. So the question is, under which president was the Environmental Protection Agency established? This was clearly a very environmentally conscious person, right? So was it A, Al Gore, okay, B, Theodore Roosevelt, C, Richard Nixon, or D, Barack Hussein Obama?
I think that the only president on that list who thought that like his farts could cure trees is Richard Nixon. So I vote him.
That is correct, actually.
Yay!
Yeah. A lot of people probably would not realize that, you know, it was Richard Nixon, but that's who got it started, apparently. It happened on his watch. I don't know if that means he's responsible for it, but whenever, you know, something bad happens, we say it happened on their watch. So we might as well give Nixon credit for, you know, for protecting the earth.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay. The votes are in now, and our winner of this debate is Mike Giordano. So Mike will be moving on as well.
Wow.
And Katie will be having her chance at redemption later tonight. All right. So our next debate will be between Tyler Tuttle and our friend that we just checked in with, Angela Sawyer.
Hello.
Hey, Tyler. What's up, man?
Nothing much.
Cool. So Tyler, you get to choose whether you go first or second.
I would like to go second, please. Thank you.
Okay, great. And Angela, you can pick from anything except events or war.
Okay. I guess I will pick wild card.
Wild card. All right. Your question is, what is the more important amendment to the Constitution? Is it the 21st Amendment, which repealed prohibition, or the 22nd Amendment, which limits the amount of times a person can be elected president?
Oh, well, the more important of those is allowing people to drink, because that is a huge part of our culture. How would Boston exist as a city without drunk students? Honestly, our entire economy, at least locally, would fall apart. And I'm pretty sure COVID has taught us that it would fall apart around the world. Drinking is the thing that allows us to continue to live despite the things that presidents do. It's very important.
You know what else? You know what else America was found on? Telling the Queen and other monarchs to get the fuck out of our business. We don't need anyone sitting for a long term in charge of us. I think 8 years is too long. I want a new president every single year. I want constant election cycle vote every single day. I don't want any of this monarch bullshit. All right. Well, no drinking. What we still drank. It's like there are tons of laws that we still break anyway. We had NASCAR when we weren't allowed to drink. We had cool gangsters when we weren't allowed to. Now we are allowed to drink, and it's no cool gangsters and drunk driving accidents. It's a tragedy. Thank you.
Well, speaking of breaking laws on term limits, I think we're all about to learn that it doesn't matter whether the law is there or not. The president will be there as long as they want. But either way, whether the presidency lasts for a day or a lifetime, you will need to be wasted to put up with it. And I know I don't drink, and I'm still super wasted now.
What we need to do is we need to make the 22nd Amendment stronger and have the amendment. If you don't want to leave, we put you in a cannon and we shoot you back to England where that monarch shit flies, all right? Because it don't fly here in America, and we're going to make you fly in our big-ass cannon across the ocean. I'm drunk now. I don't care if it's legal. I'm still going to do it. I want to buy it from a friend who brewed it in a bathtub because that's where love comes from. It's homemade. You don't get that from Miller.
God. All right. So many great points. Again, I'm just so glad that I don't have to decide it and that it's going to be the audience. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, click the link in the description and vote for your favorite, whether it was Tyler Tuttle or Angela Sawyer. And in the meantime, I've got some more presidents trivia here. So let's check in with our good friend, Rick Harkness. Hey, Rick.
What's going on?
So I have a question for you. And this has to do with the president. So it's very important. So your question is, prior to becoming president, Donald Trump was best known for battling A, the Germans in World War II, B, the People's Army of Vietnam, Iraqis during Desert Storm, or D, Rosie O'Donnell on Twitter. Which one do you think?
I have to check my memory because I'm pretty sure I saw Donald Trump and Inglourious Bastards, but I'm going to say it was D.
That's right. It was Rosie O'Donnell on Twitter. Somehow this man didn't serve in the military. And you know what? He's not the first president to not serve in the military. And again, Vietnam, not a popular war, so I'm not going to shit on him for it. I'm never going to get after somebody for not going to the army. But I will say
I mean, yeah.
There were presidents in the past, though, that had paid other people to serve in their place, and I think that's bullshit. So, all right, the results are in from the debate here, and Tyler Tuttle is moving on from this debate, so he'll be moving on to next week, and Angela will have another matchup later for some redemption. So our next matchup will be between Rachel Dunbar and Katie Baker. Oh. Hey, Katie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How are you, Rachel?
Good.
Good. Good to see you. Rachel, it'll be up to you whether you want to go first or second here.
I'd like to go second, please, Sean.
Okay, great. So, Katie, you can pick the category, and I think we've done everything except for presidents and her story.
All right. I think I'll go with presidents.
Presidents. Okay. So, your question is, would you rather be like President James Buchanan and be the only president to never marry, or be more like Warren G. Harding, who many suspect was murdered by his wife?
I feel like I would definitely rather be never married, because then that spares me from a whole lot of bullshit. And maybe for being president, it'd be best off just being like alone that way. Like I can maybe, I don't know, like have friends, but just not have a family, and that's okay. It'll be that way. It's all in the movies. That's like my family won't be like collateral for something. So it's just be a lone wolf and time.
I would say that being killed after that, you don't have to deal with a lot of bullshit either. And who doesn't want a ghost for a president? That's the kind of world I want to live in. I want to have a ghost for a president. And if my wife kills me, you know what? I get a Lifetime movie named after me, and everyone on the internet is floating their conspiracy theories about who killed me. I'll think of all the cool people who have been more famous after they died. I'd be like Tupac, and then people see me on the street and they're like, "Oh wait, I think that's the president, or is it?" And then I'll put up like 12 albums that all go like multi-platinum, and I'll be more successful as a ghost and dead than alive and married to a lady who wants to kill me.
Thing is about like anticipating or like being murdered, like I get scared enough when I hear a balloon pop, so like for like waiting for my wife to be lurking to murder me, I mean, even if I didn't know it was going to happen, it'd still scare me. And it would really frustrate me if as a ghost, if I wasn't able to like communicate through the internet, so to see all these people having theories but not being able to chime in, that would drive me crazy.
No, I'm walking towards. I'm like, "Here, honey, I'm here. I'm ready to go. Let's get this murder over with," And you know what? Here's the thing. A lot of those conspiracy theory guys, they're kind of weird. I don't really want to interact with them. I just want to be admired and I just want to be talked about. I don't need to talk to them. I'm a ghost. I don't need that. But have people talk about you, how great you are. If you're dead, you're not. How great my new track was. That's the life not the life, but that's the afterlife I want to live.
All right, a lot of great points here, and I can't wait to see how the audience votes on this. So head in to the poll right now and vote for your favorite, Katie Baker or Rachel Dunbar. It's right there in the description on YouTube. You can click right on there and put in your vote. And in the meantime, let's do some more presidents trivia. So I would probably ask this here of our good friend Pete Moe, who we saw earlier. Pete, I got a question. Which president once remarked that his cat Dixie was, quote, smarter than my whole cabinet? Was it A, George Washington, B, Abraham Lincoln, C, John F. Kennedy, or D, all of the above?
See, I'm a dog guy, so this is like I don't know how to read this, but when in doubt, I'm gonna go with the honest one, and that's Illinois' finest, Abe Lincoln.
And your answer is correct. That was Abraham Lincoln, who said that his cat was smarter than his whole cabinet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it seems more insulting than if it was a dog, right?
Could just be a real smart cat. I don't know, like Tony the Tiger or something.
Yeah, this is a cat that's selling cereal. He's a successful business cat.
Right.
So, okay. Well, the votes are in, and our winner this round is Rachel Dunbar. Rachel Dunbar will be moving through, and Katie will have her next chance tonight. So, next up, let's head on to our next debate between Zach Jones and Rick Harkness. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Zach. What's up, Rick?
So, Zach, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay. And Rick, you get to choose. Wait, no, you don't get to choose because we only have one category left. Somehow, it has not been a popular one. But your question is going to be from her story, which people don't want to talk about women in history.
Rick and I for sure have a lot of insight about this.
I'm totally okay with it. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Rick, you're going first, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your question is, what drove Clara Barton to create the American Red Cross? Was it the horrors that she witnessed as a Union Army nurse during the Civil War, or an insatiable thirst for blood?
got to go with the insatiable lust for blood. Honestly, I don't understand why she was even out there on the fields in the first place. From what I understand from modern warfare, especially Revolutionary War and Civil War, it was carnage. You just lost leg just stepping out there and shit like that. So she wasn't really doing nothing but tying off knots on dead limbs and telling people you're going to be okay, and it was clearly a lie. So that's clearly number one, she was a psychopath. So I think she was just out there for a whole little bloodlust thing. Like, it was like, what did she honestly do? She didn't find a new cure. She didn't find a new treatment. All she did was start the Red Cross, which till this day, yes or no, they have little rumblings of stealing stuff. That's all I'm saying. She was out there for blood. That's all. She liked to paint her face with that shit. That's all I'm trying to say.
Listen, this is America that we're talking about. You don't need to start, if you like blood and have a bloodlust, you don't have to start any sort of a medical thing to do that. This is one of the bloodiest countries in existence. You don't have to look for it, it finds you. The reason she was out there was because she saw the horrors of war and the horrors of what it did to the people, and said, yeah, we're never going to stop doing this. So the least I can do is collect the blood and do something good with it. That's what was going on here. There's no question. She doesn't, an insatiable, if she wanted to have an insatiable lust, for blood, she could have become one of these, Silicon Valley people who has a plan to turn all of our blood into Bitcoin.
No, I'm glad you brought up the whole this is America and she could do whatever it is to justify her blood. I'm glad you said that. All the other avenues were taken up. Church, being a pilgrim, wearing weird hats, having like weird ass jobs and shit. Like, yeah, all that shit was taken. The only thing taken was pretending to be out on the battlefield, not doing anything and helping people. That's the only thing she was out there for. Listen, the pirates came up with peg legs a long time ago, and these motherfuckers were on the pirate ships, and they got drunk to cure AIDS and shit. So no, she didn't discover anything. Yes or no, we discovered anything.
There is. I've heard that in the street. I've never been to America, but I've heard the streets are paved with blood. You can get it anywhere. You can. People are handing it out for free. I assume that's when I see the signs for blood drive. That's what that means. It's everywhere. It's fine. We have nothing but blood.
All right. Another tough call here. But the audience will let us know what they think. It's out on YouTube. Click on the link in the description, and put your vote in. And in the meantime, while people are voting, let's ask some U.S. history of our good friend Katie Baker. Katie, I'm wondering if you could tell me how many presidents had a parrot during their presidency. And your options are 1, 4, 13, or all 45 of them.
This one, I'm pretty sure I got this question wrong before, and I'll probably get it wrong again. But what was the second option again?
4.
4. It's either 1 or 4. I know it 13. Like, I remember Mike Giordano and I got it wrong. Not to throw, or it was yeah, but it wasn't 13 because it seemed plausible. I'm still gonna. Oh man, I'm gonna go with 4.
4 is correct.
Yay!
I do like that you had eliminated 2 of them. Like, we're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I was gonna see if you wanted to phone a friend. Gave a final answer, but
yeah,
we got it. So just looking at the votes on this last debate between Rick and Zach, it looks like the people have voted, and they voted for Rick Harkness this round. So Rick will be moving through. Zach will have a chance later on, and we're on to our next debate. between Nick Martucci and Pete Andrews. So, hey, Pete, how's it going, man?
Going well. How you doing, Sean?
Good. How are you, Nick?
Doing pretty good, Sean.
Great. So let's get into it because we've gone through all of the categories, so we can start all over again here. Everything's open. So, Nick, do you want to go first or second?
I'm going to go second.
Okay, so Pete, you can pick from any category that you like.
Let's go with wild card.
Wild card. Okay. So, your question is, which American tradition would you rather bring back? Senators attacking each other with canes or duels?
Oh, that's tough because attacking someone with a cane should be a duel. Okay, I believe we should all attack people we disagree with canes, and I believe our leaders should lead by example. So I believe Elizabeth Warren should hit the next Republican she sees in the face with a cane. And I stand by that because the only way to affect real change going into this election, we need to knock some heads, old school style, go old hickory on someone's ass, you know what, multiple ass. Mitch McConnell really needs to remove the stick and beat him with it repeatedly. And until November is over, until things get better. And I've lost my internet.
Time.
See, this is America. We wrote down a few basic rights a long time ago, and the second thing we came up with is we should be able to shoot each other whenever we want. And I don't like that law. So, in order to change it, the only way we can do that is by getting every senator who is pro-gun enough to fire one at his opponent to just fucking die. Just back and forth. It's a way to weed out the population of senators. I don't think we need canes to come back in tradition. Canes are their own thing. They're a way to move forward. Guns are a way to also move forward, I guess. But we need senators to shoot each other. That's what I want to see on C-SPAN.
Sure. Senators shooting each other is a short-term solution to a long-term problem. I get it. It seems simple. It's a quick fix. But this is America. We do not believe in quick fixes. What we believe in is hitting people in public with sticks. Because you know what? If we learn anything from this primary, it's that we need seniority in the Senate. Fuck these Kennedy upstarts with their guns. We want old hickory in the office.
Well, that's the way we get more people into office is to open up more seats. I think, it's not fair that one state should be able to have so much power. A state like Kentucky can put Mitch McConnell in there forever for some reason. I think we should have a line of people trying to shoot Mitch McConnell. They can't all lose. And I think that is the post-apocalyptic future we're going into, is just everyone shooting everyone until we're safe.
All right. Well, I'm almost certain that when Nick said that we should shoot a senator, it would be a crime, except the NRA would definitely fight for our right to say it. So I think it's probably okay, allegedly. So it's up to you to vote for who you think won this round. So head into the poll right now and put in your vote, whether it's for Pete Andrews or Nick Martucci. Let us know what you think. And in the meantime, I will ask another trivia question here. So this one, I would like to ask of, Liz McDonald's here, and I haven't talked to her yet. Hey, Liz, how's it going?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. So I got a trivia question for you, if you are interested.
Sure.
Okay. So this question is, Under this president, the federal minimum wage was established and set at 25 cents per hour. And your options are Thomas Jefferson, James Buchanan, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, or Ross Perot.
I have no idea. I think Roosevelt. That sounds right.
It is Roosevelt.
Nice.
Ross Perot was not a president, and
That's what I thought. I had to think about it for a second, though, honestly.
Yeah, and Thomas Jefferson was not in favor of a minimum wage.
Yeah.
So.
No. Yeah, he was in favor of like owning people. So
yeah, he was a bad dude.
Yeah.
So it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt that gave us 25 cents an hour. How about that? What a progressive hero. All right.
Yep.
So just looking at the poll right now and the votes that have come in and how you guys voted, and it looks like this round, the person moving on is going to be, by a slim margin, Nick Martucci will be moving on. And so Pete will have his chance at redemption soon. In the meantime, let's go on to our next debate here between Danya Tromer and Vaden Jones. So, Danya, how's it going?
Fantastic.
Cool. I like your hat. Is that like an official Rocco's Modern Life hat?
Yeah, it is. I got it at Hot Topic like a cool kid.
Nice. I was like, this might just be a weird coincidence, and she might be like, I don't know who that is, you old dude. But
you're still old. That's the point.
All right. I'm not even going to put your name into the poll here. So, okay. So Danya, you can choose whether you go first or second here.
I'll go first.
First, okay. So what category would you like?
Can I have war? Is that available?
You can have war. You know what? Everybody is asking for it. The American people love war, so let's do it. Let's get after it. So your war question is, what's the better quote from General Patton? Is it never let the enemy pick the battle site, or you're never beaten until you admit it?
Yeah, the only thing I can think about Patton is that he shot horses off a bridge. So I think his best quote is, look at those horses go off a bridge. But I guess, he didn't let the horse pick the battleground. I'm going to say the don't pick the battleground one, which is the quote I can't remember. You want that one because it's really smart. You don't want to fight your enemy in their strength zone. Like when you fight a horse at a barn, they automatically grow 6 times larger. But if you fight a horse on a bridge, baby, you got the upper hand, okay? They don't have home field advantage, okay? And you got a gun, okay? Guns aren't allowed at barns, okay? Wouldn't be able to shoot a horse in a barn, okay? Also, in a barn, for some reason, horses, they become bipedal animals, and they're going to be a lot taller than you. I hate to break it to you, it's okay.
Well, I'm glad, once again, I'm learning a lot about horses this week, so that's fun. No, what my opponent fails to realize is he had to shoot those horses because they refused to admit defeat. They were not defeated. Only they were cheapened out of their life. They were not defeated. They were eliminated, I guess, but not defeated. I don't know if you've ever tried to fight a horse. They will not give up, and I respect that about horses, just in general. Actually, horses have taught me to never give up, and that is why I am currently thriving in my life, because I refuse to give up. Welcome to my TED Talk. Time.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about horses admitting defeat. Okay, You're right that they don't do it. So then how would they actually be defeated? Vaden, this is a flaw in your logic, okay? Since they can't admit that they're defeated, they can't be defeated. You know what? We're going logic here, okay? Logic with these bipedal horses, all right? You can't shoot them. They won't give up, all right? You got to get them off the home turf, okay? Or else, bingo, game over.
I don't know if you realize the Kentucky Derby was just over this past weekend, and those horses don't get to choose their battleground, but they never give up until the race is over. And you just have to respect the majestic beauty of an animal that refuses to quit. Time.
All right. Well, another great debate. So let's pick our winner. Head into the poll right underneath the YouTube video. You'll see the link in the description, and vote for your favorite right now while we wait and ponder this very important trivia question about U.S. presidents. So let's ask this question of our good friend, Nick Martucci. Nick, can you tell me which of these leaders of a country dropped an atomic bomb killing over 100,000 civilians? Now, your options are A, Saddam Hussein. Bad guy, right? Yeah, Saddam Hussein. B, Herbert Hoover. C, Vladimir Putin. That's a bad dude as well. Vladimir Putin, bad guy. Or D, Harry S. Truman, our brave president of yesteryear.
See, that's a tough one. And I think if I'm going specifically by like the worst monsters of history, I think I have to choose D.
Okay, so the answer here is Harry S. Truman. That's correct. D.
I thought so.
Is the answer. He dropped the atomic bomb, killing over 100,000 civilians.
And that was the only time that anybody dropped an atomic bomb, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We here
That's
in
weird.
the US we're very concerned with other people having bombs, and yet we're the only one that has ever done this. So
that's
okay
that's
when we do
Alanis
it.
Morissette irony.
yeah. Okay, so the votes are in here, and our winner this round is Danya Tromer. So Danya will be moving on, and Vaden will be facing off again to see if he can find some redemption tonight. And our final debate of round one is going to be between Liz McDonald and Carrie Ross. So, hey, Liz. Hey, Carrie. It's good to see you both. So, Liz, you can choose whether you go first or second. What do you think?
I will go second.
Okay. And Carrie, you can choose between, let's see, what categories do we have here? You can choose between presidents, events, her story, and that's it. Yeah, those three.
Okay, I will pick presidents.
Presidents. Okay, great. So your question having to do with presidents is, as president, which nickname would you rather have your opponent give to you? And your options are His Little Majesty, is what some people called James Madison because he was like 4'10", or Rutherford, which is what people apparently called Rutherford B. Hayes.
Which one of those I would like?
Which one would you rather? Yeah.
Which one I'd
His Little
rather?
Majesty or Rutherford?
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to go with Little Majesty. Is that it?
Majesty, like
Little Majesty.
Little king.
Little Majesty. Well, you know what because the way it used to work, like Republicans, they would say like, in your heart, he's right, and then the Democrats would counter with, but in your guts, he's nuts. So Yeah. So that's the only, that's the, the most appropriate way to talk about a president is, body shame them. Exactly. That's the way it works with the most, with the current president. And like that just lets them know that, they can never let their guard down. That way they can be like, that's right, I work for you. So in my, I think psychologically, if I ever were president, I would have to have someone tell me I was little and stupid.
I would pick Rutherford because first of all, we love a pun. And second of all, I feel like you could just spin it and be like, yeah, well, I'm tough on fraud. And I feel like that's something that like Republican would be like a Republican attack ad about being like tough on fraud. But then really secretly, I would be like, the real fraud is capitalism. So I'm gonna be tough on Mr. Jeff Bezos. And also the fact that people like the IRS made like a thing where you could look up people's information way too easily and like 700,000 tax returns got stolen. So I will stop that fraud. So then I'll just turn it around and it'll be a positive thing.
Oh, okay. So is it my turn again?
You're up, Carrie.
All right, no, but I would do the exact same thing, but I would hit Bezos in a different way. I'd be like, you made, your assets may be huge, but you know what else is not? You know what else isn't huge? Well, I know what isn't huge. I want you to feel uncomfortable. I want you to feel as human as you can possibly feel. That's what money doesn't mean nothing, you big fat dumbass.
Yes, I agree. We should just team up and just make Jeff Bezos feel so tiny. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then fraud. And it's bad. I don't know. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. So another great debate between these two very funny friends of mine. So please head into the poll right now and put in your vote for either Carrie Ross or Liz MacDonald to let us know who you want to see advancing to next week's show. And in the meantime, I've got a little trivia question here. We can ask this one of maybe Rachel Dunbar. Rachel, can you tell me under which president was NASA established? And your options are A, Bill Clinton, B, Lyndon Johnson, C, Dwight D. Eisenhower, or D, John Quincy Adams.
Well, it's definitely when NASA was established.
Yeah, which one was president when NASA was established?
Definitely not John Adams. Definitely not. What was it? Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton was one of the options.
It's definitely not those two. So it's between what is it? Lyndon Johnson and Dwight Eisenhower.
Yep.
I think was it Eisenhower?
It was Eisenhower. Very good guess. So yeah, Eisenhower was a space nerd. We all know that. Eisenhower was a very intelligent president. He was, I think he went on to be like the president of Columbia University as well, or something. Or probably did that before. Was he after? That'd be a weird
That's a big
step
honor.
to take. Just like I was president of the U.S. and now I'm president of a college. That'd be that's
not the country.
What's that?
Not the country.
Yeah,
I thought he was president of Columbia afterward.
He went to be president of Columbia, exactly. All right.
And now he's fighting fraternities.
So the votes are in for this final round one debate, and the votes are for Carrie Ross to move on. So Carrie will be moving through to next week, and right now we have we'll do 4 matchups of we'll see you later, Rachel. Thanks for doing it. So we have 4 matchups. These are the people that are still looking for a win tonight. So 4 of these people will be moving on. First, let's make sure that I have the right people written down here. So this is who I have moving on. That doesn't have to debate again tonight. Mike Giordano, Carrie Ross, Tyler Derniak, Tyler Tuttle, Rachel Dunbar, Rick Harkness, Nick Martucci, and Danya Tromer. Did I get any of that wrong? No? Okay. So then we have 4 final debates here. So let's get into them. Our first one will be between Pete Moe and Tyler Tuttle. Or sorry, Pete Moe and Angela Sawyer. Great. So Pete, you can choose whether you go first or second.
I feel like I never get to go second, so I feel like I'm gonna take my special situation here.
Sure.
And go with it.
Going second. Okay, and Angela, you can choose from, well, let's just say you can choose from any category because we're on to a next round.
Any category. Okay. Then I will take war. Let's make them bleed.
Okay, cool. So your question is, would you rather be drafted into a wildly unpopular war or live the rest of your life in Canada?
Oh, I would love to live in Canada. I browse the Canadian job boards at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep. Please, if any of you have a job for me in Canada, let me know. Or just a boat, I'll pay you. I don't know about you guys, but in the last 6 months, I have had to make a huge change in my life. And that's that I don't love murder anymore. And man, it has been tough. But if my reward is that I get to go live in a city that is not as humid as Boston is now, and they just have like nice fries with weird stuff on it, I think that's a nice reward. That seems like a nice time for me. And that seems better than having a guy in an army outfit shave my head. I mean, I'm not saying I can't, that's the worst thing in the world, but like, it's not going to be a nice look for you to see.
Obviously, I probably would side with Angela in general as a descendant of Canadians myself. However, because I am so familiar with Canadians, I also know their shortcomings. Have you ever had your ear talked off about the Windsor Spitfires or OHL hockey in general? You can't escape that conversation. At least with the draft, I've finally been picked for something in my life. All of my flaws overlooked. They want me to be a part of something. Hey, I'm dying anyways. At least I can, take out some of this aggression I have from, the current situation. And we all just talked about how nice it must feel to just be able to blast caps wherever the fuck you want. I mean, I have to take this opportunity. Someone wants me. I feel
like
Well, Pete was saying that he's dying anyway and that he just wants to feel wanted. And I can't think of a nicer place for that to happen than a land where everyone says they're sorry to you all the time. I mean, if you're going to, I don't know, I guess if you're going to be dying anyway, why do it in the armed forces? Why not do it surrounded by pudgy people who know too much hockey trivia? That seems very nice. Seems very nice.
It is nice to an extent. However, have you ever tried Canadian pizza? It is terrible. Not to mention their ketchup quality is subpar. And this is where you're living permanently and there's shitty pizza. Think about that for a second. I'd rather kill myself or just go kill a bunch of other people in an unwanted war. That's pretty much my situation. Pizza or death?
Ah, yes, the famous quote, "Give me pizza or give me death." So, all right, hey, go vote for your favorite here, whether it's Angela Sawyer or Pete Moe, and let us know who you would like to see moving through to next week. And while we're doing that, I got a little trivia question here that I could ask of maybe Pete Andrews. Pete, what's happening, man?
Not too much. What's going on?
Not much. So this one is not a real fun question, but let's do it anyways. It is only after this president's assassination in 1901 that the Secret Service assumed full-time responsibility for presidential protection. And your options are A, Abraham Lincoln, B, William McKinley, C, William Henry Harrison, or D, John F. Kennedy. I don't know if you
Think
looks like he's
B. I feel like I should know who got shot better. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah,
Can you hear
you look like you're frozen in place, but I can hear you.
Yeah, it's B. I think.
The answer
Probably
is
not.
B,
I
William
don't know.
McKinley. Correct. William Henry Harrison was not assassinated unless you count pneumonia as an assailant.
I do.
Well, then, I guess he would have been
We're in a pandemic
as well then. All right.
Before I get voted off the island, I have to ask Nick what he does to his lighting to look like he was clipped out of a newspaper. It's like the grayscale.
It's called real poor lighting. It's right on me.
All right, so the votes are in, and there's only 2 votes separating our winner from loser here. But our winner for this round is Pete Moe. So Pete will be moving on to next week. Thank you, Angela, for debating with us tonight.
My fireworks are going off.
All right, cool. Next up, this next debate will be between Katie Dunbar and Liz McDonald. So, Katie, do you want to go first or second?
I will go second.
Okay. So, Liz, what category would you like besides war?
I'll do wild card. Why not?
Cool. Wild card it is. So your question is going to be, here's a fun American history question. Let's imagine that you are Orville Wright and you've built an airplane with your brother and you flip a coin to see who goes up first. This is how they did it. Do you hope that you win or lose that coin toss?
I hope that I lose that coin toss because I have a bad record with heights. I grew up in a town that had an amusement park, and one time I tried to go on a roller coaster when I was in middle school, and then I had a panic attack, and I had to right before it started, and I had to scream and get the attendant to let me off, and it was a very embarrassing thing. And so I feel like I just wouldn't be able to do it, and then I would just fake having a headache or something. So I would hope I wouldn't get it because I don't want to do it anyways.
All right, Katie.
You know what? I hope I win. Because have you seen the plane they flew at Kitty Hawk? That fucker looked like it wasn't getting off the ground. And while I am not particularly fond of heights, I am relatively skilled in the operation of a bicycle, which is not exactly relevant to this conversation, but hey, if I can ride a bicycle, maybe I can sort of pilot this plane and not die. If in the unlikely event it gets off the ground, which we've established, it won't.
Even more reason for me not to do it. I have a concussion right now, because of falling off a bike. So like I don't want to know what a plane would do to me because I was like asleep and felt like I had just taken an entire pack of NyQuil for like 10 days and it was crazy. So I feel like I'd probably die. Can't bike.
So the sensation of having taken like 10 NyQuil is something that I chase because I don't sleep. So look at what we've got on the line here. We have the ability to sleep, eternal glory, and this thing is not getting off the ground. So forget the first two things, flip the coin, I win, let's go, plane time.
Time. All right, great. So we've got the poll up right now, so you can vote whether you like Liz or Katie to advance to the next round. You can make your choice simply by clicking on the link that's in the description on YouTube. And good night, Carrie Ross. Carrie wrote in the Zoom chat there. So good night,
Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
And in the meantime, let's do a little trivia quiz question here. These are all, there aren't any more fun ones here, but let's do them anyway.
We've done all the fun things about American history. It's all
short list.
We had to even try to make the nuclear bombs funny.
All right. Let's do the pets section. There's a section just on presidents and their pets. So Mike Giordano, let's ask this one of you. So your question is, which of these is true of Woodrow Wilson? A, he had a cat named Puffins. B, he had a dog named Bruce. C, he had 48 sheep that he kept on the White House lawn. Or D, all of the above.
You know what? I gotta go with my first instinct, which is anytime there's an all of the above, that's the answer. I'm gonna go with that.
That is correct. It is all of the above. It's a good way to take a test.
That's how I did the SATs.
Yeah. So
I got 100 on it.
Yeah. 100 is so good. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. So the results are in, and by one vote is what's separating us here. And our winner this round is Katie Dunbar.
Oh,
so
damn.
Katie will also be moving through. Thank you, Liz, for joining us and for debating tonight. It was awesome to see you too. So next up we have Zach Jones and Katie Baker.
Zach Jones.
So, Zach, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second again.
Second, okay. So Katie, you can choose from, let's see, I think War and Wild Card are both done. Those are gone. So you can go with either events, president's events, or her story.
I'm gonna go with events.
Events, okay. So your question is, which sounds like it would be more fun to be involved in? The Whiskey Rebellion or the Teapot Dome scandal?
I think Whiskey Rebellion, because those two, as silly as Teapot Dome sounds, like if you have whiskey and you have rebellion, like there's no way that that's not going to be all wild and rowdy. Even like I would have to brush up and see the specifics of which for this event of which either way you can't go wrong with Whiskey and Rebellion. It's a power duo, and I'll pick that final answer. Time.
Okay, I hate to break it to you, but the Whiskey Rebellion is in fact quite boring. It sounds like a drunken good time. It is really just a bunch of guys who are mad about corn taxes. It's not. That's all it was. They were mad about how the distillation of corn into whiskey affected the tax rate of it. It was a thing that happened in like the early the early 1800s. So like before anything interesting was going on, people still didn't have like. America wasn't even good for white people at that point. That's how early on and bad America was. And whereas we're talking about Teapot Dome, we're talking about the great mountains of the country, the Montana, Idaho area. We're talking about the Roaring 20s. We're talking about Teapot Dome, which I don't know if you get the joke, but it sounds like oral sex. Way better.
Thing is, with the power of whiskey, anything can be fun. And my favorite thing to do when I've had a lot of whiskey is argue with a bunch of angry men about corn. So it would just be my favorite. I could like say a bunch of invalid facts about corn and have them get all mad. And then I can just say like, hey, you're a stupid old man. And then like, whatever, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Once again, everything is not more fun with more whiskey involved, particularly sex. But listen, you get too much whiskey is gonna give you whiskey dick. Nobody's ever gotten tea dick because the teapot is gonna get the dome to be better.
All right. A lot of great points here. I'm so glad that I don't have to decide this one. It's up to the audience. You guys go in, vote on your favorite here, whether it's Katie or Zach. Let me know who you want moving on to next week, and we'll check in on that in a minute. In the meantime, let's ask another very fun question about presidents and their pets. So this one I will ask of Angela Sawyer. Angela, can you tell me which president said this of their dog Fala? He said, I am accustomed to hearing malicious falsehoods about myself, but I think I have the right to resent, to object to libelous statements about my dog. Was it A, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, B, Harry Truman, C, Thomas Jefferson, or D, Richard Nixon?
What was the name of that dog?
Fala.
Fala?
Yeah.
Like Fala la 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 Fala?
Yeah, like F-A-L-A.
Like Fala la la la. Okay. Yeah, sorry, one more time. Which presidents were those?
FDR, Harry Truman, Thomas Jefferson, or Richard Nixon?
Honestly, I don't know, but the image that comes to mind immediately is Truman riding the missile into nuclear Armageddon, like at the end of the movie, and that's a guy with a dog named Fala. So
it was actually FDR. He had a little Scottish Terrier named Fala that he apparently, there was this news story that he forgot it overseas and that he sent a U.S. battleship to go retrieve his dog, and that it cost the U.S. taxpayers millions of dollars. And so FDR said, you know, Fala is Scottish and he would never waste money like that, you know. So that's the cute, fun little story about the Scottish Terrier. And so now I've closed the poll here. So if you haven't voted already, you missed the vote, much like Fala. I didn't mean to do that, but you know, it just kind of worked out, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody. And you guys have voted. Oh, and it's another close one. Only 2 votes separating this one, but our winner this round is Zach Jones. So Zach on, and Katie, thank you so much for joining us tonight and debating.
Woo, thank you.
And so our final debate of the night right now will be between Vaden Jones and Pete Andrews.
Let's go.
Okay. So let's see. Vaden, you can choose whether you go first or second.
I will go second.
Okay. So Pete, you can pick, let's see, you can pick between Presidents and Her Story.
Her Story all the way.
Great. I was hoping you would say Her Story, even though everybody's avoided it all night. But this is an important question. So here we go.
No one better solve this problem.
Your question is, which of Sally Newman Scull's traits would you rather be known for? Forceful language or the mysterious death and disappearance of multiple husbands?
I'm going to go with stern language. Can you repeat her name, please?
Sally Newman Sculls.
If with a name like Skulls, you understand the power of words. And you know what? If people weren't afraid of Mrs. Skulls when she rolled into town, they will be after they hear my forceful and direct language. We have the best thing about America is freedom of speech, and I'm going to use my words to be effective in saying, I did not kill those men who disappeared that used to be my husband. Do not talk to a widower like that, or widow like that. Her Story. Time.
Is it, so what am I supporting? Mysterious deaths?
Yeah, it seems like it.
A lot of dead husbands for some reason.
Yeah.
That I'm okay with being known for that. That's a lot of headaches I don't have to worry about anymore. It's kind of, I love a good conspiracy, as you can tell by why I'm wearing my shades. Anytime you get people talking, that's just always good for business. And again, I get to collect the inheritance from all these dead husbands. I don't care where they're gone. I'm rich. Time.
Come on, internet. Come on, internet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my internet cut out again because I'm bad at this. All right. I again think it's awesome that Vaden can always be both sides of Tiger King at any time. You are Carol Baskin making your husbands disappear, and you're Joe Exotic also losing husbands tragically. It's an American story, and the point of Her Story is to go back and to learn from people of the past. I am excited to research this woman more, especially her use of strong language.
Again, thank you for making my point for me. Again, do you know how much money they made from Netflix in that documentary? I want to be both Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic. It's what I'm doing. That's who I am. Time. Cheers.
All right. So, we just got to figure out this final debate. We just got to have people vote on this final one, and then we'll know who's moving on to next week. We'll have completed our preliminary round one. So going to the poll right now, you can find the link in the description on YouTube and vote for your favorite of the two, Pete Andrews and Vaden Jones. And while we're doing that, maybe I can ask Tyler Derniak a question. Tyler, how bad do you think the Indianapolis Colts are going to be this year?
Oh,
all of the above.
It's going to be bad, right?
It's gonna be like a 7-9 year. It's gonna be.
Stop trying to get moderate.
Philip Rivers is gonna bring us to 7-9. It's great. He's too fertile. There's gonna be too many pregnancies in Indianapolis. It's really done just. Man, wait to ruin just the rest of my week.
Sorry, buddy. All right. Well, I just figured we'd kill some time and talk about the NFL. But
you certainly killed my mood. But
and your boner.
Yeah, I was hard this entire time.
Tyler, there is a chance that they end up with less than 4 losses this year, and that is if the season is canceled due to COVID.
That is true. Maybe
that's about the only way that's happening.
Yeah, maybe only 2 games will happen.
Yeah, who knows?
Colts will start out 2-0.
Let's see how people voted for this final debate of the evening, and I'm going to read the results right now as they are coming in. And our winner this round is Pete Andrews. So Pete Andrews,
thanks everybody.
To the next round. Thank you, Vaden, for doing the show. It was awesome to hang out with you tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and that's it. We've settled on our 16 for next week, and or our 12 for next week. And we'll be doing shows tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please tune in every night. We'll be here on YouTube. So keep voting, keep letting us know who you like, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody that was in the show tonight. You guys are awesome. It's great to see you all.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Sean.
Good night.